Alrighty guys, well thank you very much for coming to this session. We have mistakes we made and tips we learned getting new customers. Please welcome Jackson Mills, Heather Earl and Chantel Brayley.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate everyone coming this afternoon. I know it's really busy and there's a lot of other very good speakers, so I appreciate you all turning up. And it seems like everyone loves to listen to mistakes rather than the tips and the tricks, so that's interesting. I actually went to probably an interesting way to start off. I went to a dinner on Monday night filled with retailers and was chatting to them. The main topic, obviously, was AI. And we're talking about we are able to improve processes on this and that, and AI this, AI that. But the common consensus was that they were still struggling to get new customers into the business. So no matter how hard they were trying to optimize with AI, they were still struggling to get customers. So we have some two amazing speakers today, Chantel and Heather from SNDYS and Nutrition Warehouse. And yeah, they're going to share some mistakes that they've made in the past and some of the tips and tricks that they've learned along the way. First things first, has anyone here been a part of a giveaway before? Ever entered a giveaway? Has anyone won anything from a giveaway before? What have you won from a giveaway? A gift card? Can anyone beat a gift card? Yes? You want to skydive? That's pretty cool. All right, well, that's a good segue then. So we're going to start on giveaways. Now, Chantel, do giveaways actually work to get new customers in the door?
Yes and no. And also, I'm going to say this, and I probably will say fucked up instead of mistake. So, I'm really sorry. I'm apologizing in advance. Yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because when you're talking about a customer, right, you're gamifying the experience. This isn't just like an Instagram giveaway, that situation. So if you are giving something away, are you actually getting a customer that is going to be a customer that is aligned with your brand? Purely because of the fact that you've incentivized a purchase of something. And we also know that we now have to pay for certain things, like our list size, and also our deliverability are really important. So is really important. So do you actually is it a short-term win? Could work, maybe, depends. Long-term, I actually don't really see the benefit.
And an interesting example of that is I saw a brand who was launching a board short company, but they were giving away a GoPro. So all of these customers were actually signing up to win the GoPro, but when they launched the board shorts, no one actually purchased the board shorts. So all they were doing, they were interested in winning the GoPro. Heather, have you sort of seen anything similar in regards to giveaways not potentially working?
Yeah, seen it, done it, learned from it.
So you've done it?
Yeah, absolutely. When we've done giveaways, not just at Nutrition Warehouse, but other brands as well, if you do a giveaway and it's not aligned with what your customer is actually interested in and what the customer who will be shopping with you afterwards is interested in, then you're giving away something that people, like you said, are signing up for to win a prize, not to shop from you ever again, so they don't actually become a lead.
And the better the prize isn't always the better the situation. I think, so I've been with New Harvest Supplements, obviously Nutrition Warehouse, we've got a lot of overlap. People love walking pads and Ninja Creamies. 10,000%.
Walking pads, yeah.
Walking pads, you can buy them off Amazon, or you could buy something you were already going to buy and you could win one. So those work, because again, it's super aligned, but it's when you're giving away, and I don't know that GoPro and board short necessarily wouldn't be aligned, but also how many board shorts is a guy going to actually buy in the long term?
So you mentioned the walking pad, and was that for Naked Harvest?
Yes.
So why was that aligned with Naked Harvest, or how did you understand that this product would actually get customers through the door for this particular product?
We have really large market research with 126 stores and over 600 staff members. They're our customers. They work for us because they love the brand. They're passionate. They are really great market research for us, is knowing exactly what are our staff wanting to buy. They are our customers. They're our fans. And everyone who works with us is the same. And it's what are you spending your money on? So being able to use our people to make those decisions is really important. It was a good lesson to learn as well.
It's also a prompt, it's a reminder. If it's something that's so aligned in lower value, it's oh, I've been meaning to do this, so I'm going to do this. It's really hard to capture or create intent of a giveaway, but what you can do is create conversion for someone who already was going to buy, but just maybe forgot.
Are there any brands in the market at the moment running good giveaways that you know of? Or is there any brand that has run a giveaway previously that you've seen like that's the best thing I've ever seen?
Win a year's supply of always seems to work very well in our vertical, that's for sure.
Win a year's supply of?
Yes, of one product, and then they stack it with other things. They become a long-term customer. It's great. That one works really well in a vertical like ours. I think that those, if I was to say a giveaway that works, making sure that it's aligned with what your customers are really wanting from you as well, yeah.
SNDYS is going to do a travel giveaway in a couple weeks, but it's like we're giving away the location that we did the shoot at, and we're making sure like it's all really aligned, and it's actually not going to be expensive for us to execute, and it sits more in our storytelling to add additional storytelling and drive engagement than necessarily have a direct instant impact on revenue.
I think one of the best giveaways that I've seen in apparel, when I was with August the Label, we did a giveaway that was win a wardrobe experience, and they came to like head office and got we flew them there and got them to stay there and then helped them build out their August the Label wardrobe. And I think that created a long-term fan, and the word of mouth from that, bring a friend, that sort of thing really works really well.
That sounds amazing. That's really cool. Has anyone here run a giveaway before if you work at a brand? Has it been successful? Yeah, that's really good to see then. A lot of people giving.
Sometimes giveaways are really successful first and foremost because you get a lot of entries. And if you're doing a buy to enter, of course you're going to get a lot of sales because people want to enter for that thing. But I think the success really comes from the follow-up. And I would say that, what's your post-campaign? If you're doing a giveaway campaign, what's your post-campaign plan? Because if you don't have that before you do the campaign and the giveaway, then you don't actually have any real ROI.
So first initial touch point, giveaway, follow-up with a post-campaign. That kind of leads into community. So I guess you get the people in, now you're starting to generate a community. The first thing I've heard a lot of people say, what is a community? I know the word gets thrown around a lot of the time. So do you guys have a particular set of criteria or a definition of what a community actually is?
Okay, so my opinion on this, and Jackson's looking at me because he knows this. So everyone loves to use the word community, but not everybody actually has a community. It's okay for you to not have a community. You could just have a customer. But if you're not building an ecosystem where they're loved, nurtured, cared about, etc., then you don't have a community, you have a customer. And it's just a really trendy word that you're applying to things. Brands that I've seen do community really, really well, or criteria for community is are you hosting in real life moments for them? Are you creating content that's actually for them to consume from an entertainment value perspective? Are you making your product decision buys based on actually that person and how you value them? Those are all signs of community.
And have there been any mistakes, I guess, community-wise that you've been not necessarily directly involved in, but you've seen not work the way that you were hoping they would?
Okay. Yes, but I'm going to say, so the good thing is because I'm so passionate about community, I didn't actually action those things. What I've seen alternatively is, I went into a brand that used the word community, and there was one redemption in their loyalty program in the previous 12 months. And that is literally the quantification of community. And if you don't have that, then you haven't executed it. So we had to rebuild what that looked like to make sure that all the vital signs of community were there. But I also think that a brand that's doing community well or that's doing community poorly, it's just that you're not going to see any return on your investment and you're using it as a buzzword. And it's more like you're just saying it because you're oh, I have a community because Fate has a community. No, Brittany Saunders has a community. Her customers sell clothing literally to each other via a Facebook group. It is a machine.
Yeah, if you've got a community, then your customers are your fans. And if they're not promoting you to somebody else, then you don't have a community. That's where a community wins. And that's why every brand's trying to, cultivate really strong community.
And Nutrition Warehouse, I assume, has a big community, strong community. In order to get new customers through the door, do you actually utilize your community as it stands? Is there some sort of exclusivity that people want to be a part of the community to try and get them in?
Yeah, there's definitely a certain VIP tier, and that definitely comes from, super fans, as we like to think of them. The sort of parts of our community or the customers that not only spend with us, but promote us, talk about us, want to be more involved, and getting things that money can't buy is kind of, I think, the best way to reward those people.
Is there any particular product that not anyone can buy from Nutrition Warehouse? You have to be a part of the community?
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's like definitely been like shirts and things that we've done, and like definitely merch and apparel that we've done.
And do you guys run...
And sorry, we have done a secret flavor of something before. Yeah, that was just specifically for super fans.
And you've previously been at Naked Harvest. They have a very strong community as well. I've seen a few community events, and they're also doing a giveaway. I think I've seen a Porsche being able to be taken from Naked Harvest. Does that get new customers through the door as well?
So in terms of like getting the new customers through the door with the Porsche, like definitely it's getting new customers through the door. But I think like you have to think about the risk associated like that. So I'm not going to be up here and be like, give away a Porsche, because it's going to be it's so unique based on that brand. And I actually think if I told you to give away a Porsche, it probably wouldn't work for like 95% of the brands that are in here. It's just a really expensive car, but so cool, right? Lots of legal paperwork because it's very expensive, and lots of time on ChatGPT. But in terms of the NH community, like I loved being a part of it. I'm still a part of it. We actually have a community collection that they are launching in a couple of weeks. And like I started NPD for that, so new product development for that, 18 months ago, and we've kept our community involved in every single step of it. Supplements is the hardest product development pipeline. It takes forever to develop something, so to keep their attention is really hard. But the NH community is so loyal that I have never been publicly tagged on the NH account. The amount of people that follow me because they know my name and they found my Instagram and they'll send me a DM when they really want to know something, it also comes with like a lot of responsibility. With that, if you want to inspire a community, I highly recommend you doing EGC so that people get to know your employees. But in our Facebook group, or in NH's Facebook group, I actually had the girls shift, and where they felt comfortable, they used their personal Facebooks to engage in the community, so that it wasn't NH saying something, it's Katie, the marketing manager, because everyone knows Katie and it keeps it personal. And the way that changed the group was wild.
I would say that as a channel, EGC is very...
And for those that don't know what EGC is?
Employee-generated content. So that works very, very well, obviously, for a business like ours, where I've just said, like, our biggest fans are our employees.
And it's a pretty good shift, I guess, to loyalty. Is anyone here a part of a strong loyalty for any particular brand? Yeah?
No one's on Mecca Loop.
Yeah, so that's an interesting
Ian level
one.
5 in the second row.
That's something interesting that I've seen pop up previously, is that everyone's been talking about this Mecca loyalty tiered system. Do you guys use loyalty, or have
Don't pretend you don't know about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking really good. My foundation.
You've got great skin. I know that there's a routine.
Thank you. But yeah, with the loyalty tiers, do you see brands kind of mess it up in regards to trying to get new customers through the door with loyalty tiers? Does it necessarily work in the beginning?
I think that it depends on how you roll it out, what the communication is. It's got to be really clear. I think a lot of people launch tiered programs that are super complex, and then you don't understand what the hell that means, if it's any worth, where do I sit? Is it worth moving up that tier? What do I really get? If you don't really know what you're getting out of a loyalty program, you don't want to be a part of it. Loyalty programs mean that you need to have sticky customers. That's the whole point of a loyalty program, that your customers come back. It's not so that you get them to shop with you once and they earn some store credit and then they have no idea they've even earned that. And then they spend the next time and they get a discount. You're giving away money to people who are going to buy with you anyway. That's not loyalty.
So for someone sitting in the audience that may be thinking about starting a loyalty program, are there certain things that they should be hitting in regards to something, like some sort of requirement before they actually pull the trigger and roll that out?
Yeah, it really needs to be specific to your community. Don't just launch what other people have done, because it may not be exactly what your community need from you. If your customers are looking for something specific from you, what do they like about you? Yeah, you need to know that, because if you don't know that, then it's not being built into your rewards program. First and foremost, we're calling it loyalty, but it used to be a rewards program. And if you're not feeling rewarded, then it's not a program that's going to keep you loyal.
So what's the best way, I guess, to introduce a loyalty program? Is it cashback? Is it free shipping? Is it store credits? Is there something that works?
Depends on the brand, depends on the customer. Yeah, it's very unique, I think, knowing exactly what your loyalty program needs to entail.
So it all depends.
It depends on whether or not you have community. So and it also depends on the creative. Like, you can launch almost any tech stack and it will be much of a muchness. I'm sorry if anyone's loyalty provider here. It's all a bit of a muchness, but the way that you creatively take that to market's going to change. But also things I love that have always worked well for me, because I had community to allow the quantification of loyalty, merch. People love merch, especially if they can't buy that merch. Like, wow, the NHCO hats that we had, like, people wanted them so bad. And it was literally, it was a $25 hat, right? But it was like you were a part of something. Or alternatively, money can't buy experiences. Like, it is, I would love to see the insights of CSB's loyalty program, because the amount of people who probably want to be level 4 to get invited to an event with Rachel Dillon, like, that, literally money can't buy experience.
So someone has to spend a certain amount of money, I assume, over a certain period of time to get a level 4 tier? Is that?
And level 4 gets access to exclusive events. You don't know which ones, right? Like at Sundays, we have, I had a bucket list, which we haven't gotten to, but we were like, do we take our top loyalty people to the Olivia Dean concert and get a corporate box, right? I can now share that with you because you can't get a corporate box to Olivia Dean. In case you're wondering, I have tried every avenue known to man. It's not possible. But I thought about the content, the engagement, the way that loved the community, and people would gamify to get that experience.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. And I'm a big Qantas loyalty member as well, so I play the points game left, right, and centre. So we've spoken about giveaways. Some of them work, some of them don't. We're talking about community, what a community actually is, and that works nicely leading into loyalty. Now, I've seen a lot of brands go all in on particular advertising platforms, be it Meta, Google, whatever else it might be. Is it important that a brand diversifies platforms, or should they just pick one and become the best at it to get a new customer?
Customers don't know they're in a channel. They know that they're looking at a business. So yes, you need to diversify. But being everywhere isn't where you win. It's being consistent. Yeah.
Is that across like creative, email, SMS, across the board?
Timings. Yeah.
Have you seen any particular mistakes that brands have made sort of leaning into one particular platform? Is there an example that comes
I would
to
say
mind?
one of the biggest mistakes I see in channel acquisition is that a lot of brands underestimate word of mouth as a channel. They don't think about it because it's hard to quantify.
I guess it's kind of a nice segue into word of mouth. I hear word of mouth at the coffee shop. They'll tell me what kind of, I don't know, hat they bought or what kind of shirt they bought, or it's at a barbecue or a wine and dine. There's no real way, I guess, to quantify that. And with everything that I've read, word of mouth is still the number one conversion tool, or the cheapest compared to running an ad or an email. It's so hard to scale and to implement word of mouth and to track it as well.
It's why building community is so important. It's what we were saying just before. If you're not building a community, you don't have fans. Your fans are the ones that talk about you. They are the word of mouth. But, I mean, that's why we work with Mateship. It's a different way of doing word of mouth marketing.
And is there sort of way, Chantel, you've seen word of mouth?
I think word of mouth is tough to quantify, again, like what we're saying. And I think, back to the loyalty program, every loyalty program has a referral system, but it's such an afterthought. Like the amount of brands that have no idea that they're actually paying for a referral system or somebody's not using the referral system is wild. So I think like I kind of see word of mouth and like social proof kind of go hand in hand, and like when I'm thinking of ways that referrals can come through. So we're neighbors. That's not why we know each other, but we realized this. And I had Jackson show me like basically like what this looked like, and I was able to see how many people in a certain area were purchasing the cola electrolytes from NH, and it was interesting because I could see people purchasing my products versus people purchasing Nutrition Warehouse, and this wasn't like a secret thing. This was like you seeing who's in the community, and it was almost like a word of mouth situation when I was in, it's not the back end, but it's like the customer platform, because I unfortunately am not in a Mateship community, so I do not get access to the goods. But it was like that to me is a form of word of mouth or referral, because if I had 13 people in my vicinity purchasing something, I would feel much more confident with like, oh, well, this must taste good. This must be good. So
is there something, I guess, that you can leverage word of mouth? I know you spoke about something else, but is there something that you use at the moment, or are brands just not really talking about it?
We're using Mateship.
it's
not a selling thing,
No,
but
this wasn't supposed to be a selling one. No, we're using Mateship because of that fact. Like, it does actually show customers that someone in your area has bought this product, and it's like then you can get it shipped for free. So, I mean, it tells someone literally buy this right now today, and it gives that, that validity around the product.
Yeah, I mean, other tools, no, because like I will sit in a QBR, like a quarterly board review for Loyalty Tech, and they'll be like, 0.02% of people have referred the product. You're above industry expectation. I'm like, phenomenal.
0.2.
Yeah, that's probably not the actual number, but it's like something that's so small that like we could have just left it off the QBR, because I don't know that I want to report that back to anybody and have to give them the context of it's a technology that no one else is using. So like we're the best of a really crappy bunch. It's just easier. Like we just omit that slide. It's not there.
Now, to kind of, I guess, sum up what we've spoken about, giveaways. If you were to run a giveaway for Nutrition Warehouse tomorrow, what kind of products would you be looking to give away, and how would you kind of run it?
God, that's a real trade secret, really, isn't it? If we were to give away a product, we'd be picking something that is best bought with something else. So really good paired products make a really good giveaway.
So not just a single individual product, you try and pair it with something.
Yeah. Or the other thing that works really well is when you know your customer very, very well, you know the different goals that they've got. And I mean, like problem solving is really what a giveaway should be. And so giving away like a specific built stack for each goal makes a lot of sense as well.
And Chantel, you're very strong in the community space. If there was someone looking to grow their community a little bit further or try and maybe even start one, is there any sort of advice that you could give them at a foundational level?
Find the opportunity to invest in those in real life moments. And like, so I have like, this isn't me plugging myself, but I can literally give you the financial backing from this, right? So I have a podcast which effectively has created community because it's long form content, right? I love the opportunity to meet people in real life, which is why I'll always be at every thing that you can imagine if there's a margarita. So I worked out that in my office, I could host a Pilates morning. It's going to cost me an initial investment of $700 for the mats, which I will then keep, which will be something that I can have. My Pilates instructor will cost me $60 for the morning. And then all I need to do is invite 12 people from my community to come enjoy a morning and have a morning of education. But what I'm going to do with that is actually create an opportunity for me to share content with them, get their feedback. I will then have content that I can repurpose and use elsewhere in my marketing. So think about the return of investment of I'm creating an in real life moment, which is daunting, right? But I'm going to be able to have legs on an opportunity that will far supersede that. If you do not feel that you could do something, and like this won't work for every brand, not every brand can have a Pilates morning, but if you don't feel as though you can have a community pop-up moment, you probably don't have a community. So maybe start by replying to comments, engaging with people who aren't like the Duolingo owl's so funny. Like engage with people from your personality, do things to help drive that and work yourself up to having an in real life moment, because if you can't see people in real life, I hate to break it to you, you don't have a community.
That's a really good point. So if you're an online business and you're not necessarily doing anything in person or can't do it, then yeah, I like the responding to comments. That's really interesting. With loyalty, should a brand run a loyalty program? Yes or no, Heather?
Yes, but make sure that it's really specific to your brand, your customers, and what they really want to be rewarded with.
And if you were to start from zero, in any particular, no particular order, is there any sort of platform that you would dive into first in order to get that first customer through the door? Is there any particular one you'd focus on?
They really need to work cohesively, so that's a really tricky one.
And you do the same, like diversify across?
Diversify across everything, because I think everyone's really happy to like blame a singular channel or give credit to a singular channel, but then that's the only channel that they're running. So you're actually just having to work harder instead of being full funnel. Like it takes 7 touch points to convert a customer. Why wouldn't you diversify?
Amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 of the smartest people in e-com and retail at the moment. Do you have, or what questions do you guys have? Anyone want to ask Chantel or Heather a question?
What are some common mistakes you see when people are trying to build a community?
So what are some common mistakes you see when people are trying to build a community?
They're not being inclusive with their community because they overvalue the premiumness of their brand. The purpose of community is to create a safe space for people. And if you're not allowing yourself to have different people in the room that are recognized by your customer, then I think it goes back to like your community is your customer. And like, if you're not wanting to accept your customer, then like, do you actually even love them in the first place?
Do you really love them?
I really love all of my customers. Like I just think they're so much fun.
Awesome. Anyone else have any further questions? Yeah? How do you start a community from scratch? If you've got a couple of hundred people, how would you necessarily start a community with those few hundred? Would it be a Facebook group?
I would say, yeah, getting in touch with them and getting them to, like, if there's not very many, getting them to have a safe space where they can share ideas, you know, talk about your products, get referrals on how to use this with something else, or what else did you do with it? I think, and having those prompted questions. I think, yeah, definitely Facebook groups work, but you have to have the right customers for that. But yeah, I think also, like Chantel said, like, if you can organize an in-person event, then definitely try.
With that as well, I think, because, you know, we're talking a lot about community, and I think there's ways to utilize community to build your brand, but not every brand, like, maybe your brand doesn't actually need a community and you're clinging to something because it's a word that's currently trending. Like, I can think of so many products, like, I don't know what your product is, but like, I don't know that a mattress brand would need a community. Like, I think there's other education touch points that I would take in consideration from that. Wellness, activewear, those all really lean into community, but also maybe create content that is engaging, that causes engagement, because if they're engaging with you, then they will form community.
Great question, thank you. Probably have time for one more if anyone has one final question. No? All good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please thank Chantel and Heather. If anyone has any questions I'd love to ask in person, please come and annoy them.